Hello everyone, today I wanted to share 3 tricks with you that I've been using to help myself play better on the Osmose keyboard, which can do pitch bends. The first thing you want to do is to find yourself a nice sound that you can familiarize yourself with and to get very intimate with to know how it sounds. So for me I chose the Stellaris sound. The next thing you want to do is go here on the third button, which is the sensitivity options on the Osmose. And here we have 4 settings, or actually we have 5 settings if you scroll to the right with this button here. But for now we will be using just the first 4. And if you look here at the first setting, it assigns how far your key is bending. Or rather how far it's pitch bending, and we want to set this to 0. And now you just learn a simple melody. And familiarize yourself with how that sounds. After you've done so, you can set the first setting here up to 12 ST, which means it can bend up to 1 octave here. And now you will play the same melody again. So you can hear this one was imperfect, and that way you can directly play something and listen if you're playing it correctly or not. So as you can notice, these 2 fingers are still a little bit off to the left, and you can also tell that by looking at the curve here. So my next tip is just to put it back to 1 here again, so it's easier to listen. And my next trick is to just look at the curve here. And this curve will always show you the last key press that you're doing. And that way you can really observe which of your fingers might be causing issues when you're playing chords, for example. In the chord you can't really see it, but if you just play the same damn thing and observe which finger is not straight in the middle, that way you can learn to correct it better. So to go a little bit more in depth in these options here, the first one we already touched. Then you have 2 curves here, and as you can see, there's a little bit of deviation between the 2 curves. So the right curve is where you're actually holding the key, and the left one here is being corrected by the stabilization. So the lower you put the stabilization, the closer these 2 will be to each other, so it will be more to what you're actually playing, but it will also be harder to control it correctly. So you can also, if you scroll here on the third one, you can also choose from some settings here, and as you can see, low sensitivity, so this one will be almost always the correct pitch, but the pitch bends will be more extreme. As you can see, there's like a huge leap here. So it's usually the best to just keep it in regular, practice with that, and then every time you get a little bit better you can decrease the stabilization a little bit, and just keep practicing that way and monitor on the curve here to see how well you're actually holding it. Now to just get to the last option as well here. On this option you can choose which key you are bending. So it's normally set to always, which means you can bend all the keys here, but you can also choose never, so it will never do bending. And there's some other interesting ones like oldest notes, so if I press this, now only this key here will actually bend. If I do this one, it won't do anything, only this one will bend. So yeah, you can just go through those options by yourself and check out which ones you like. And for my last trick, I have made a preset, which I will also share in the comments afterwards. So let's go to the preset. And this preset is not working. Yeah, there we go. So let's turn it on the Haken editor as well. Now you can see it as well. So with this preset, I have assigned 5 oscillators here, you can see, and you can also switch in the square wave if you like that sound better. So you can just put it to one of these things here to the bank if you like that. And basically what I've done is here in the shape generators, they will track your key press and they will track your aftertouch, and depending on how far you are pressing down your key, it will sound one of these oscillators. So here you can adjust the numbers if you want to assign where you want your sounds to be. So right now I have one sound, the sine wave, that will immediately get sounded with a short pulse, and then the second one will be at 50%, and then the last sound will be at 90% when you push down the key, and then the last two are at aftertouch. So let's just show that. So with a very light touch, I'm only getting the sine wave. So if I push it a little bit further, you will get the saw wave, and as you can hear, it's not doing the sine wave right now because the sine wave is only assigned on top. So you can actually practice between those zones as well. So here in the end of the press we have the square triangle wave, and you can see it's actually quite accurate. That was the noise, which is at the aftertouch. So if I press them down the key from the top, you will hear it go through all the sounds. So now I know how far I'm pressing down the key, because I have direct audio feedback on each of the zones. And yeah, so in the aftertouch we have the noise at first, which is quite loud, so it's easy to practice on if you're only pressing down the key press, or if you also press down into the aftertouch zone, and then in the end, well, at 50% of aftertouch we also have the supersaw sound here. So yeah, I hope these tricks will help you out play better, and see you the next time.